2 o'clock in the afternoon, British summertime, live from famed center court. Wimbledon awaits the top 2 women players in the world as they vie for the most desired championship in all of tennis, the oldest and most important champion, Wimbledon. Doors now open, and the crowd on the far side, the first glimpse of the finalists. From Brühl, Germany, the #1, Steffi Graf, age 26. In modern times, only 4 Hall of Fame greats have won more than her 5 singles titles here. Navratilova, Wills Moody, Longland, and Billie Jean. She is favored to win. From Barcelona, 23-year-old Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario. In the past 12 months, she has been in the finals of all 4 Grand Slams. Never beyond the quarters at Wimbledon. This is a rare opportunity to follow Conchita Martinez and deliver back-to-back Wimbledons to Spain. It's their 34th meeting. The last 13 times like this one have been in a tournament final. This is a meeting of familiar opponents. The 34th tennis occasion between Steffi Graf, now world #1, and Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario, world #2. Graf, 5-time Wimbledon champion, dominated Sanchez-Vicario for years, but lately the Spaniard has emerged as a spirited rival. Graf's edge is also diminished by a chronic back injury. She was administered cortisone shots before this Wimbledon. Evident here, the pain is not gone. Sanchez-Vicario enters this final knowing she can beat Graf in the biggest of matches. Just last year at the U.S. Open, Arantxa's resolve was confirmed in a match that turned on a second-set tiebreak. Only last month, however, Graf in 3 sets countered by defeating Arantxa at the French Open. An emotional victory since Graf, resting her back, had practiced very little for Paris. In her 9th Wimbledon, Sanchez-Vicario is at last in the final, where she meets the ultimate test, the best grass court player in the world. And we welcome you. Breakfast at Wimbledon, live from center court with a woman whose presence out there 12 times in the final thrilled us all. 3 times a champion, Chris Evert. The weather is typical Wimbledon this fortnight. It's going to be hot, near 90 degrees, and lots of sun on this Saturday at Wimbledon. You've talked to both players. Steffi Graf.
Well, it's important for Steffi not to underestimate Arantxa, first of all, because Arantxa's has some incredible comeback matches against Steffi Graf when Steffi's been way ahead. Also, Steffi, I think all she needs to do is really go out there and play her power game, because her weapons are really magnified on the grass courts. She has to relish the fact that she's playing Arantxa on grass, which is still her weakest surface.
The Grand Slam winner of 1988. She's won 16 titles, including her victory in Paris a month ago. Now, Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario, certainly the underdog. No one expected her to make it all the way to the finals. How does she win today?
It's going to be tough. I mean, what she has to do really goes against her grain of being a baseline player. She has to attack Steffi Graf's backhand and come into the net. She has to take chances. That's the only way, because she can't be trading ground strokes in the back. Steffi is just too tough.
So they warm up. Graf and Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario once again in a championship final. The championships, Wimbledon, at stake today.
The championships, Wimbledon, brought to you by American Honda, maker of fine quality automobiles, motorcycles, and power equipment. By DuPont, better things for better living. By IBM, solutions for a small planet. And by the Pepsi-Cola Company, who reminds you that nothing else is a Pepsi.
About concluding their 5-minute warm-up, Steffi Graf, will she win her 6th? And can Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario continue her amazing challenge of Graf? Many have felt that Graf had more tools, more ability, but no one in the game has more heart nor more hustle than the woman that Graf plays today. Perfect year for Graf. 31-0. She's lost only 3 sets. 1 here in this championship to Jana Novotná in the semifinals.
Her first round, Martina Hingis, the 14-year-old Swiss, sensation. She has enormous potential. Amanda Kutzer, that was a pretty impatient match for Steffi Graf and an easy Bogert one in love. Grichetegi, again, another easy match, under an hour. USA's surprise quarterfinals, Mary Jo Fernandez and Jan Novotná. Jana was up a set, 4 points for 4-3, and really missed some opportunities there.
23-year-old Conejo, the rabbit from Barcelona, ranked number 2. She relinquished her number 1 in the World 2 Graf when Graf beat her for the French championship at Roland Garros 4 months ago. Solid record, only 6 losses for the year. She, like Graf, will be well over the $1 million mark after this Wimbledon experience.
And she lost 3 games against Studenikova. Mana Endo, one of the 9 Japanese women who played this tournament. Zina Garrison-Jackson, that was her last Wimbledon. That was sad to see. And then Anke Huber, the German player. A tight match. Also Brenda Schultz, the big serving. And then Conchita Martinez. She was the defending champion. It was a real battle of the Spaniards, and an emotional win for Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario.
Their 34th meeting. Graf has been very much in control, 25-8, and in Grand Slams they have split. The 89 French going to the Spaniard, as well as the 94 U.S. Open, the Australian last year and the French this year to Graf. Steffi Graf, who has been so dominant in Grand Slam events since she first arrived at the 1987 French Open when she beat Martina Navratilova. Graf has been in the finals 25 times of the 32. Almost write it down. Grand Slam event coming up, folks, and who will play Graf in the final? Well, today at Wimbledon, it's Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario. Graf will serve to open the championship. An early taste of the big forehand.
As I said earlier, Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario is not going to win this match from the baseline. I mean, this isn't the red clay at Roland Garros. She's going to have to really go against her nature and take some chances and come in off Steffi Graf's backhand. That's her weaker side.
And that's flirting with disaster. A short ball, middle of the court to the forehand of Graf. Graf, the biggest serve at Wimbledon for the women, 107 miles an hour. And she holds at love. Well, Graf announcing her power, controlling that opening game with ease, and now Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario.
Good play by Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario. That's going to be her plan this whole match. Steffi does not like to pass off that backhand side. She doesn't like to see a player running into the net and putting that pressure on her. And she's certainly played enough doubles, Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario. Serving and volley, she's worked on this in her doubles so much that it's becoming very comfortable in her singles.
In fact, Arantxa is in the doubles finals of Wimbledon later today with Jana Novotná. And they will play the holders, Gigi Fernandez, Natasha Zvereva. That combination's won the last 3 Wimbledons, so it's going to be a busy day for this 23-year-old. pressure like Graf holds at love, playing in her first Wimbledon.
I'm very excited. I have nothing to lose, and I have to be very happy because I have a very tough matches, and now I'm just going to continue to see if I can go one more and win Wimbledon. That it's every player's dream, you know, 1 year to win here on the center court.
Net cord to Graf. 15 love. So the server has held all the points thus far.
I went over to Arantxa's house last night and asked her, what is the big difference? How come you like to play on grass courts now and never before? And she said, because I've never been mentally prepared before. I've always been very negative when I look ahead to Wimbledon. I've thought of the bad bounces, the bad weather. I've always thought grass is for the cows. But it's been a cop-out. And now I just thought, hey, I'm an all-court player. I'm just going to go and enjoy it.
I have to think winning in New York last summer, the U.S. Open, finals at Australian, she can play on all surfaces. Why not here?
And that really annoys her, that image of a clay court player. She's out to prove everyone wrong, the press, the public.
And the first point to the returner comes on a double fault. And you can't underestimate the importance of winning and going home to Spain as Wimbledon champion either.
Well, we saw this passing shot a lot against Conchita Martinez. She was passing her down the line.
Defensive lob kept her in the point. Good depth by Graf thus far. Good stuff. From Brühl near Heidelberg, the parents of Steffi, Peter and Heidi.
Heidi accompanies Steffi at every tournament. Peter just shows up at the Grand Slams, usually at the end of the tournaments.
On serve 1-2, Arantxa.
Good placement on that serve. Not a lot of speed, but caught Steffi off guard. Well, when she's clocking her forehand this well, the other parts of her game really fall into place. That's such a confident shot for her. That's the beauty of a two-handed backhand. They're very deceptive. You can't read them. She went down the line the other point, this time just a short angle cross court.
Graf was in control of the point until that stretch hooked backhand. Another successful approach. Point for 2-all. Arantxa collapsing as he watched the power of that forehand, but it sails long, 2-all.
Well, she knows she's going to see a few of those being sprayed around the court because Steffi makes so many winners. She's bound to make a few mistakes.
Despite her injuries and various ailments, missing a couple of months play, when she's been healthy, she's perfect. 31-0. 5 titles.
And looking at both players, their strengths and weaknesses, I'd have to give them both high marks for mobility and mental toughness. As Steffi puts away this volley, I'd have to give Steffi the confidence, Arantxa the consistency, but I think the deciding factor will be the power. And that's all Steffi Graf.
Second double fault, and the first time in this young match that the returner has a score in her favor.
And like Arantxa, Steffi still wins a lot of free points. Ball toss is very high, so she can really get that high extension, and her whole body goes into the court. She has a good 3 inches on Arantxa, and that helps her serve.
She's listed at 5 feet 9 inches, but certainly plays a lot taller.
Game is score.
Steffi Graf, Sanchez-Vicario, number 1 versus number 2. Rolex, the official timepiece of Wimbledon. On serve, 2-3.
Out. 15.
Well, Graf has the rabbit bouncing, but she's returning everything thrown at her.
Very close year for both players, and I think the fact that Steffi's been injured, she's only played 10 tournaments the last 12 months, has hurt her. It favors Sanchez-Vicario because she's played more tournaments. Your average is divided by 12. Arantxa plays more tournaments, singles, more matches, singles and doubles than anyone.
Around the net post on the line.
Thank you. Steffi once again overpowering Arantxa. That swing volley. Very often players who aren't classic volleyers, who haven't been brought up with a serve volley, just swing at it.
Second serve's been crucial here. When Arantxa's gotten the first ball in, she's won all 8 points. Striking of the ball.
And you're really seeing the 2 best athletes in the women's game out there when it comes to court coverage, fitness, mental toughness. There's a big gap after these 2 players.
Arantxa doing the running. Graf will have her going side to side, but she does that better than anyone.
Three
37-6 for Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario. Winning in Barcelona and Berlin, beaten by Mary Pierce in the Grand Slam, the Australian Open, and beaten by Graf in the second leg, the French Open in Paris, by Steffi in 3 sets.
15 left.
Both women striking the ball so cleanly. No nerves today, Chris.
No nerves. I thought Arantxa would, maybe it would be worth a couple of games being in her first final. I certainly was overwhelmed. My first final, I lost the first set 6-love to Billie Jean King before I woke up and realized that I was the finals of Wimbledon. It's a different feeling than the semifinals. All the focus is on you and your match.
It's the first really off shot we've seen from either player.
Of course, I was 18 at the time, my first Wimbledon final, and I had only played Grand Slam tournaments really for 2 years, so Arantxa's had a little more experience than I had at that point. Arantxa also has a lot of confidence in herself, a lot of cockiness, really. Every time she steps out on that court, she believes that she can run down every ball and mentally outlast her opponent. And it's worked with everybody else but Steffi.
A change of call by the lineswoman. She started indicating she thought it was good and then hesitated and threw out the left arm fault. Jane Tabor is in the chair. Does not overrule. It's 30 all. just to complete your story and your initial experience, you did come back 7-5 in the second, but Billie Jean took you out in straights. Next year you would win it.
Right. Very few players win it the first time they reach a final.
Well, here's the first break point.
Interesting that Arantxa is playing to Steffi's strength, her forehand, but then again, Arantxa can run down more balls than any other player.
And she likes the pace.
And Arantxa always knows she's going to get some freebies from Steffi because she does make errors off that side.
And Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario with the break takes the lead 4-3. Welcome back, the 5-time champion Steffi Graf. Her service broken, and Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario comes out to serve with the lead. You can see, if you look closely, there is a ridge above the waist of Graf. She's wearing one of those elastic wrap around her back to keep in the warmth and give her support.
She had injections the first week against Yana Novotná. That was the first time she had a trainer come out on the court. The trainer gave her some anti-inflammatories. You'd have to think that was for pain. She was clutching it on a few points. I mean, a real cause for concern for her, and I wouldn't doubt after this tournament that she takes a lot of time off.
Oh, what a backhand.
But you know, when you get to the finals of a Grand Slam like this, Dick, you play through the pain.
Arantxa now 10 first serves in, and she's won all 10 points. So far, a nearly perfect set for Arantxa. Little exclamation point on that game. 5-3.
Sanchez-Vicario leads 5-3.
Marissa Vicario, and it was after the French championship in '89 that Arantxa included her mother's maiden name, Vicario.
One advantage that Arantxa has is she knows she makes Steffi Graf think. And she's had some great comebacks, 94 Hamburg, 94 Canadian Open, both tournaments down match points, won the tournaments, US Open 94, 5-3 serving for the match. Arantxa pulled it out. Important that Steffi Graf not get complacent in this match. Taking advantage of that short second serve.
Oh, I've never seen her strike the ball better. And now only 2 points from the first set is Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario. 8 forehand errors for Graf.
And I think winning or losing this match is very dependent on that forehand. That's a big number in the air department. She very well will lose this match.
It's good.
Oh, she wanted that to be out badly.
30-all.
And this is where Steffi Graf plays her best tennis. When she's deep in a hole, she lifts the level of her game. Very frustrating for her opponent. She did it against Yana Novotná, and now she seems to be doing it against Arantxa.
Game score.
This looks pretty good stuff right here. This wrinkles someone's tennis lights.
We'll see Pete Sampras breakfast at Wimbledon tomorrow at 9 o'clock against Boris Becker, who prevented an All-America final with his powerfully dramatic comeback against Agassi here on center court yesterday. And we'll have more on that later as Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario serves for the opening set, 5-4. Well, the pattern continues. 12 of 12 on first serves in.
Arantxa may be a little tentative that last game for 2 or 3 points. We're going to see a different Arantxa this game. She's going to be attacking.
While a lot of players are overwhelmed by Graf's power, Arantxa welcomes it.
I don't know if she welcomes it,
Yeah,
but she's certainly not intimidated by it.
30-15.
Right in the corner, 30-15. She grew up playing behind her very talented brothers, Emilio and Javier, followed them to the courts in their matches and begged to hit with them. And no one pushed her. She said, "I've always wanted to be a tennis player." That slice backhand drifting wide and 2 set points with it. The underdog owns the opening set. 6-4 in 30 minutes. She's won the French twice, the U.S. last year, trying to add Wimbledon to the collection. And that was a set she'd like to put in the vault. That was a terrific set of hitting by Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario. Well, Graf lost the opening set against Jana Novotná in the semis and rallied 6-4, 6-2. We should point out that Graf, in a perfect year, unbeaten, that's only the 4th set she's dropped all season. You saw that unforced error graphic underlining Arantxa's top level of play, only 2 unforced. Wide.
forehand, that's the side that will crack under pressure. She'll make more errors off that side. Backhand has more variety to it, more consistency. But she's just waiting for Steffi to make the error.
Third double. And a big serve. Graf has opened the second set. Now look at the first set, Chris Evert.
Unforced errors, that's the big number there, 14. Most of them on her forehand side.
And it was on the only break point of the set that an unforced forehand cost Graf.
15.
Let's take another look. Graf 4 more winners. It's interesting. Graf took only 4 points off Sanchez-Vicario's serves the entire set. She's the best at breaking serve, and Arantxa served extraordinarily well.
This is surprising me a lot because I really thought that match against Novotná has sort of broken the ice for Steffi. She hadn't had a tough match up until that point. But I felt that after she survived that she would be playing to a higher level. Arantxa's beating Steffi at her own game. Steffi Graf very relaxed the last couple of days. She was hitting with the ball boy yesterday. Her best friend said her back was feeling great this morning. But she will continue to play the same way. She only knows how to play one way. Just go for all her shots. You'll never see her letting up. And she shouldn't.
Game is Sanchez-Vicario.
Grand Slam record for Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario.
Talk about no pressure coming into this tournament. She had never done better than the quarterfinals. There's no reason why she should feel so relaxed, even in this match. She's really come up with more shots than we've ever seen her come up with. Her little bag of tricks. More variety in her game.
And she's hit the ball with such pace that Graf hasn't had many opportunities to really measure that big forehand. She's had to work quickly as well. Ball coming back as fast as she's sending it the other way.
Tour, she is not intimidated with Steffi Graf's forehand. She feels that if she can keep it deep to her forehand, she can dilute some of that power.
14-15.
Every shot was so deep.
Game is scored.
They're on serve in the second. Arantxa leads by a set.
The Championships, Wimbledon, brought to you by the all-new Ford Windstar. The future of minivans begins today. By Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth. And by Rust-Oleum. The name means protection.
Back to Enberg with Chris Evert at center court. And Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario giving those fans that love to cheer for the underdog some real hope with a 6-4 capture of the opening set on serve in the second.
Good first serve percentage, 63%. But look what she's won, 95% of those points when she gets her first serve in. Puts Steffi on the defensive right away.
Well, that won't work often against Graf because she is so lightning fast, but a perfect drop.
That's a sign of a great clay court player, to have this drop shot. She has good hands, good feel.
Good readiness in case it came back. That ball took a terrible bounce for Graf right on the baseline where its court is chewed up. Point for 2-all. It's only the second time that Graf has earned 2 points off Arantxa's serve. 40-30. It's long. And thus at deuce, the closest Graf has come to a break opportunity.
Well, she anticipated this shot right, but just a little over anxious. Didn't get enough underspin on the ball to keep it in the court. Too flat. Very successful with that wide serve, getting Steffi Graf off the court. Steffi keeps expecting her to serve to her weaker side, her backhand. She surprises her.
Well, we hadn't experienced a deuce in the match until this game. Suddenly that forehand giving Sanchez-Vicario problems, and Graf has her first break point.
Well, like Arantxa said, she was going to try to take more chances. She realizes that she will make more mistakes. But that's the only way to win against Steffi Graf.
Oh, Graf. 3-1 in the second. And Sanchez-Vicario will rue that missed forehand volley in an open court.
Well, a tentative game for Arantxa because she missed 2 forehands and then missed the best shot she has, her backhand.
30 love.
Wonderful to watch her move, stretch.
Shoulder stay turned that whole time. Steffi again looking for that backhand. Look how far over she's standing. Not expecting that down the line. She's used to everyone picking on that backhand side.
And now a rash of missed first serves, 30 all.
Well, her forehands let her down on some big points. A couple of lost opportunities. That's the one side that will crack, though.
Game is Graf.
Well, Steffi Graf has learned early on, meeting London's tabloid press, you better be ready for the unusual question.
And when you play as well as that, how much of a buzz do you get from that?
Big. Big one. I mean, it was in the second set, it felt just incredible being out there. I mean, I just wanted to keep smiling constantly. I just enjoyed it so much. I wish I could have played a little longer.
Is there anything that gives you as big a buzz as that?
Oh, wow. What did you have in mind?
I gotta learn to handle some questions with some spin. Top spin, back spin. All right, 1-4. Sanchez-Vicario, 30 love.
She's revealing a lot more of herself as she gets older. You know, she's really showing her human side. We saw it at the French Open when she won those emotions. That's the underestimated shot that Steffi has, that overhead. I have never seen her hit so many winning overheads this whole tournament.
Arantxa making her play one more point, though, with her hustle and gets. Woman calls it wide. It was on the baseline, but just wide.
And Arantxa perhaps shouldn't have taken this so lightly, just wide, but should have maybe put it away. Didn't think Steffi was going to be quick enough to get to that ball. She's relieved it was out. She's maybe lost a little confidence this set.
Sometimes she hits that forehand like an electric prod. It just freezes the opponent.
She flings her whole body into the shot. forehand is working. She's unbeatable. Just runs around it so well. She's so quick to get over there. She hit that in the alley. But that inside-out forehand is her best shot. She can go both directions.
And the approach to the forehand costs Arantxa another break point.
Game is called.
And her first double fault presents Graf with an opportunity to serve out the set.
Ms. Graf leads 5-1, second set.
Now that was from 40-15, and then suddenly a barrage of forehands from Graf.
Well, that fourth game was a big game. Steffi was up 2-1, but Arantxa had a couple of ads to even the score at 2-all. Her game's gone downhill really since that one game. Steffi being a great front runner. You don't want to give her 2 or 3 games extra.
New balls at 5-1, down a set, but about to score things is this talented German.
No, she's on a roll, and it's really tough for Arantxa, but she really has to start getting some balls over to that backhand side.
Well, that's well stated, Chris Evert.
It's tough to do.
Yep.
It's tough to do.
She's so quick in running around it. She's had 10 forehand winners, and she's turned around what was a problem in that first set to being her usual big weapon in the second. 2 points now from a set all. She doesn't have a single backhand winner in the match, Graf, but has 10 from the forehand wing.
Second set.
Been a long time since Graf misfired a forehand. 30-all. Set point.
If anyone's going to hang in there, it's Arantxa. I mean, still down 5-1, she still feels she has a chance. When she's hitting overheads from that part of the court, towards the baseline.
Advantage, Miss Graf.
You know she's confident. This was a deep lob. I don't think she can believe it. She's laughing.
She's been perfect today on those overheads. Some have questioned her nerves on some of those in the past. Second set point.
Game, second set, Miss Graf.
Another big forehand. 27 minutes. She has the set. Fame Center Court, and they've split sets and will now play a decisive set for the 1995 Wimbledon Championship. Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario, a surprise early 6-4, and 6-1 Graf with a huge forehand display in that second set. Chris Evert, a little break in the action as Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario takes a euphemism break. What are your thoughts going into this third set?
Well, I think what Arantxa needs to do is really aim for the lines a little bit more. Anything down the middle, Steffi is just eating up. So what she needs to do is either hit some short angles to Steffi's backhand or really nail it down the line and open up that whole backhand side of the court. But she has to really change some strategy here.
Some chips maybe, try to play the ball low and short, bring Graf in.
Well, that's what she was doing the first set. I mean, she was coming in low shots to Steffi's backhand and coming into the net, and that you could tell she was very, very confident at that point. But even just nailing balls down the line to Steffi's forehand and just get her off the court so you can really penetrate that backhand side. So those two areas, you know, she really needs to work on. Steffi doesn't have to do anything different.
Arantxa returns, gives us a chance to inform you and encourage you to stay with us today. We will see Martina Navratilova, who has returned not in singles but in doubles. She was going to play doubles with Graf, but Graf, because of her back problem, said she had to withdraw. But Martina is alive in the mixed doubles, and she's only 2 away from Billie Jean King's all-time total record here at Wimbledon. She's teamed with American Jonathan Stark against Larissa Nealon, a former Soviet, and Mark Woodford, the Aussie. The semifinals, that'll be part of our coverage on Breakfast at Wimbledon today. We open the third set.
15 minutes.
Second ball ace, her fourth.
Well, like I said, go for the lines. That one certainly hit the line. She's had a lot of success off that wide serve. Has a lot of slice to it, and it really gets Steffi out of the court.
Rolex and Wimbledon share a tradition of quality and excellence. 1 hour old, this match. Now she's had about a half dozen overhead winners.
15.
Important for Arantxa really to reestablish herself in this match. It sort of sets the mood for the whole third set. This is a crucial first game for her. Well, much more crucial for her than Steffi Graf.
It was long. Sanchez-Vicario stairs, but it was at our end, and it was just beyond the chalk.
And she really popped that volley up. Didn't hit it with authority at all.
Sometimes it appears that there is titanium dust flying, but it's the dirt near the baseline as you look at the approaches thus far.
Good for both players. Steffi Graf 23 times to the net. That's a big number for her.
Graf trying to join such select company, winning 6 Wimbledon singles titles. Martina, the all-time mark with 9. Helen Wills Moody with 8. Suzanne Lenglen and Billie Jean King with 6. Bad bounce and break point early for Steffi Graf.
wide to that forehand side. She's had a lot of success, whether it's been with ground strokes or when she served her wide. It's a good play. Arantxa is a smart player. She knows to keep hitting that shot.
Oops, right into the sun. Fans thought the return was long. Bad to Sanchez-Vicario.
And this is why Arantxa is such a great player, because she never gets frustrated if Steffi hits a string of winners, because she knows this could happen. She could also make a lot of errors.
Good reaction to the net cord. She saves a breaker. Take another look at that last point. It appears Graf hits the net post. Very close to it.
Big game for Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario. She was down that game. She pulled it out. Other players, having lost 5 games in a row, would have probably folded. But not Arantxa. She's such a fighter.
Love the net result of that last point.
I really start to think about not lobbing Steffi Graf if I was Arantxa. I think she hasn't missed an overhead this whole match. Why not go for the passing shot? Forget anything down the middle to Steffi Graf. That inside-out forehand is her biggest weapon. Even though she can go both ways, keep the angles going. Arantxa should be aiming more for the lines.
Oh, she rolled over that backhand. No slice there.
Well, she's been working on this shot a lot, and she certainly had enough time to set up for it.
Her first backhand winner today, 40 love.
Few bad bounces. You know, we're getting towards the end of the tournament. Obviously, one more day left. The court's getting a little chewed up.
And an ace for Graf, her first.
Good wrist snap on that serve.
Sanchez-Vicario disappointed with a line call at this end.
Arantxa really, right now, should be looking to come into the net. She should try to take as many chances as she can. The players that give Steffi Graf the most trouble.
What a point by Graf.
Best athlete on the tour, and this is why. Her court coverage is unbelievable. But Arantxa has to try to keep it to her backhand side and dare Steffi to pass her with that top spin or with that slice. She's not going to win staying back, and the players that have given Steffi fits, the Martinez and Jan Novotnas, are serving volleyers.
And at love, Graf has broken. She leads in the final set.
The Championships, Wimbledon, brought to you by Full View TV, offering up to 350 channels. Full View TV, the satellite system with the best view. By HP LaserJet printers, just what you had in mind. And by GTE. With GTE, it's amazing what we can do together.
They've been playing at this site since 1922, 68th championship here. They lost 6 years during World War II. Graf serves up 2-1, final set. He just isn't making any mistakes. Caught the corner, both lines on that forehand. That's 8 for 8 on overheads.
And that big first serve really is setting up some weak returns from Arantxa. If Arantxa can just poke it back a little bit lower, though, and not pop it up so much, she might have a better chance.
8 points in a row now for Graf.
That might have put some ideas into Arantxa's head, maybe to try to force her to come into net a little bit more. Not on Steffi's own terms, but try to hit some angles or drop shots.
Opening at 30 all for Arantxa. Hasn't had many for the last set and a half. And a chance to break right back.
13-14.
She's converted her only break chance. And Graf helps her. This final set is even at 2-all. Fourth double fault from Steffi Graf.
Maybe a little glimpse of some nerves from Steffi.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
So the advantage lost. Now it's Sanchez-Vicario 2-all.
We love 15. Out. 15.
This is the list that Graf is trying to advance in. Martina 9, Helen Wills Moody 8, and a win today for Graf would tie her with Billie Jean King and the great French woman Suzanne Lenglen with 6 titles. singles.
We're going to see Martina next in the mixed doubles.
Didn't miss by much.
And as the match gets tighter and tighter, Steffi Graf, she really hits out more and more. Nothing tentative about her game.
2-all, 30-all final set.
First serve.
And the depth of Graf's strokes just getting Arantxa pinned back. That's all she could do with the defensive lob. 9 in a row winners in the overhead for Graf. Oh, what a bounce there off the line to save break point.
And she needs really a big serve here. Let's see if she slices Steffi wide or she goes for that big flat one down the middle. She needs to do more of is to put the pressure on Steffi to pass with that topspin backhand. It's still not a confidence shot for Steffi.
Buzz of the ball beyond the baseline. Close.
Any of those overheads. This is where it would help if Arantxa had a bigger serve. She's not winning any easy points off her serve.
It's a wonderful backboard, though, isn't she?
She has to work so hard, though, to hold her serve. I know how that feels. Deep, trying to go for more angles.
This then the longest game of the match at 2-all in the final set. Third deuce.
Tougher to sit up there and watch than it is actually to play. You don't have any outlet.
Well, in the first set, Arantxa won all 14 of her first serve points. Since then, only 50% of first serve points won, 17 to 34.
Forehand side once again. Weaker part of Arantxa's game. And really, the last set and a half, she's started to pop them up rather than just swing through the ball with authority and with confidence.
Break point, Graf.
And like that backhand side where she can do no wrong.
That was a full-fledged backhand.
Well, the two-handed backhand players have that natural shoulder turn, and it stays turned until the last minute. But with Arantxa's forehand, she has a tendency to really open up, especially when she's a little tight. She turns before she actually hits the ball. But she's playing smart now. She's not hitting down the middle like she was before. She's making Steffi really hit those angles.
Arantxa survives the longest game of the match and 2 break points. Rolex is part of the great tradition of Wimbledon. It's 17th year at center court. Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario surviving that long 5th game, and now Graf 2-3 final set. Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario never passed the quarterfinals here at Wimbledon. Said grass is for cows to eat a few years ago, and now finally has found her game suited to these lawns against a woman who's won the title 5 times, Steffi Graf.
30 love.
And really what Arantxa needs to keep doing is she needs to keep hitting out. She needs to keep attacking Steffi's backhand, make her go for the passing shots, and she needs to hold her nerve. The latter I'm not too concerned about because she mentally is a very tough player. It's exactly what she needs to do.
30-15.
And it really goes against her grain a little bit, but she knows she has to take chances. This match can be hers. Hit wide to that forehand, get her off the court, open up the backhand side, the next one to the backhand.
30 all.
She can win all these points.
Placed a terrific forehand deep in the backhand corner, but
Steffi came back with a harder forehand. Steffi loves pace.
Point from 3 all in the final set. There are 3-set records this year. Interesting. Graf, not forced to go the full 3 very often, is 3-0, and Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario was 7-0 until she lost in the finals to Graf in Paris. Little give in that statistic. 3-0. You're enjoying our breakfast at Wimbledon ladies final tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific. Men's final here on NBC. Court was open.
A little lucky there.
Unforced 10 more by Graf, who has 17 more winners.
Look at the break chances, though. Steffi's 3 for 6.
Sanchez converted both of her opportunities. The first to win the opening set 6-4. Graf then a couple of breaks and a 6-1 second set.
There's that wide serve again. Steffi has not returned that very well this whole day, this whole match. She's not expecting a wide serve. She's expecting Arantxa to nail it down the middle of the court to her backhand side. Two quickest players on the tour exchanging drop shots.
14-15.
Don't want to give Steffi Graf any patterns.
They've exchanged breaks here in the final set. Graf 3-4.
Got to do a little more at that second serve. Arantxa hit it right down the middle again. Steffi loves that territory.
Tough play. The ball was dying rapidly, and I think she had it gauged in one speed and then realized at the last minute she had to lunge. Every point crucial now. 15-30 at 3-4. Good serve and volley.
Important for Arantxa to keep these returns down low. She's still popping up those serves, those return of serves, and Steffi loves that. Make Steffi hit up.
Graf has been there. She's won from well in front. She's rallied against Jana Novotná. Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario. 34th meeting between these two. Knows her opponent well. Knows the damage of that forehand and knows the importance of this title.
Yet another wide forehand. Steffi getting after herself a little bit. Both players playing better when they're behind this set.
And Chris, this late into a final set of a major title is where that phrase, playing the big points, really becomes emphatic, isn't it? And this is what will
Exactly.
tell who will win the title.
Keeping your nerve. And boy, Arantxa, not known for her big serves, has come up with a few.
5 aces. That is uncharacteristic for her.
4 all. Very opportune time.
Came in with 8 in the first 6 matches. And Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario holding it love. 5-4. Reactions of the barking rabbit from Barcelona.
Well, if she wins this match, that is the game that will win it for her, that 4-all game. A couple of big first serves, uncharacteristic for Arantxa.
And Graf serving second in this final set from behind 4-5. Oh, late call out.
Well, he had his hands out. He had his hands out, calling the ball good, and then changed his mind.
Well, I've never heard a stronger reaction at center court.
And he called it good. He called it good. He called it first. No, he called it good. You overrule that?
It's a call that can change any match, breaks the rhythm of it. It was first called, she's right, it was first called good, and it did appear wide. Jane Tabor stays with the line call. Well, you can tell now that this audience around center court pulling for the underdog to win her first Wimbledon title. And a double full. Nope. Sorry, excuse me. First ball was a let.
For Arantxa to be tentative, and I think she knows that now. She's shaking her head yes. She knows she has to hit out.
2 breaks of service in this final set.
You can't hope for Steffi Graf to make errors at this point, because this is where she lifts her game.
And as you well know, no tiebreaker in the decisive set. They'll play it out. Well, one of the great points of this championship, 40-15. Well, tomorrow on Breakfast at Wimbledon, this is one you'll see again. One of our top 10 points of the championship. As we wrap up our fortnight. She did everything but win the point as Graf just wouldn't let her get away. What terrific defensive play by Arantxa to this audience's delight. Well, it has all the best of ingredients, doesn't it? A champion 5 times against a woman who's never been close to this far at Wimbledon. A big hitter, highly regarded. Graf, 16 Grand Slams against a tremendous defensive player in Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario. At 5-all final set.
Little over anxious perhaps, but it's the right play.
Battle of the fans shouting out encouragement to both players. And that was the right play for Graf. That part of the court wide open. Arantxa was looking for the cross court forehand.
You're going to see Arantxa really looking for the opportunities to come in, though, off Steffi's backhand. She's won so many points from that shot. Just long. 5-all, 30-all. Talking about Graf's forehand, she has 16 winners off her strong side and 17 unforced, so a -1. She goes for it. Oh, the guts of a burglar. That shot at 30-all, 5-all. Surprised her. It's a last-minute decision. I think an instinctive one at that.
Pressure continues to come from that end of the court, however.
Hits the ball late, not great technique, but she gets good wrist snap. Yes, but she kept the ball a lot lower at that point. She didn't pop any up.
Now a point for 6-5. They've saved the best for last.
Really taking her time this point.
A bit too fine.
Come on, Arantxa.
Boy, she's won so many points off that serve.
She has just a sprinkling of aces through 6 matches of Wimbledon, only 8 total, and she has 6 against Graf today.
But there's been such a pattern with that serve. I'm surprised Steffi still doesn't read it. No tightness here. Winner after winner, every point. Both players going for the lines.
You're going to have to put a little more titanium paste in the machine before the next match. They've been painting the lines all day. And the unforced error from the backhand, 2 in a row now for Arantxa, gives Graf another break point. Graf broke a string or not? She's going just to get a towel. Well, that's like a moral victory for an opponent of Graf, for her to take any time away. That was a big, deep second serve from Arantxa. 4th deuce.
Keeping it low.
And how low she had to be to deliver this backhand.
Steffi really left the whole court open. Not a deep enough approach.
Striking that ball down below her knees. Point for 6-5 again.
Arantxa would love to have a big serve like she had at 4-all. She had 3 big serves at that game.
Another long, tormenting game on her serve. 5th deuce.
Oh, Steffi waited till the last minute. Arantxa, that approach should have been a little bit more towards the backhand side. She really could have made Steffi hit that return off the backhand side, but instead her strength.
Now a second serve at break point.
Never hit in her career.
Unbelievable play.
That volley was at her shoestrings. She kisses her racket.
6th deuce. Third break point for Graf to take the lead at 6-5. Sideline. Again, Sanchez-Vicario within inches of losing her serve. At one play right on the sideline.
Thank you.
With Graf's backhand. What drama. Was wide.
Sanchez-Vicario loves a target. Really stayed turned that shot. Kept her head down. And she would love to have a big serve right now.
19th point of this game. All deuce the 8th.
Well, and Arantxa had 2 opportunities to put the ball away. Played it safe. But she still has to be happy she's in this game.
Were the kinds of shots we saw a year ago. Conchita Martinez, who became the first Spanish woman ever to win Wimbledon, against Martina Navratilova. Deep cross-court backhands pinned in the corner, bewildering the veteran Navratilova, and Graf shaking her head at that shot. Wide. And this audience of over 13,000 at center court, they have to applaud because they're not breathing. They have to have some excuse to let out emotion. They're just literally holding their breath on every point. 9th deuce.
Well, because you sense that this game is the whole match.
Marathon game with so much packed into it. Wimbledon title at stake. Ruled wide.
Well, the serve definitely looked wide.
Chalk flew, but it was the service line, not the center line.
A little tentative when she gets up her ad. Perhaps hoping that Steffi will make the mistake.
'25th point of this game.
Dipping at Steffi Graf's feet. Steffi's smart, though. She's approaching the right side. Arantxa's just been able to string together some great forehands.
The 9th game point for Sanchez-Vicario. Graf has had 3 break points. At the baseline. Graf continues to dictate with her superior power, moving her opponent and forcing Sanchez-Vicario to come out with incredible shots to stay in this game. Finally, Heidi Graf and Marisa Sanchez. 11 deuces. The game of this entire championship, to be certain. And now the 4th break point for Graf. This game now well over 16 minutes in length.
Should see the patterns now. She's been passing her cross court every time. Left that whole side open.
But under such enormous pressure, again and again and again, Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario has delivered. It's out. Even the chair umpire, Jane Tabor, with a smile of disbelief at such incredible play.
Reply to that shot from Steffi Graf. In complete control, Arantxa, at that point.
Thirteen deuces.
One time too many. Steffi was waiting for it. She certainly hit that shot so many times. It's about time that Steffi was waiting for it.
The Borg and McEnroe 18-16 tiebreaker in 1980 was 22 minutes. That was a tiebreaker. This is just one game. It's gone 18 minutes. her 6th break point. Steffi Graf takes a 6-5 lead. Standing ovation, an incredible game. .32-point game with 13 deuces. Listen to this reaction from these totally delighted fans around center court.
Well, I just had a sense that whoever won that game would win the next game, but I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to see this match go on forever.
I think that's the voice of all that are watching. Well, Steffi Graf showing her enormous talent with the crowd apparently on the side of Sanchez-Vicario, and Arantxa making one terrific play after another. Graf just steadily pressured her until finally able to break.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
2 hours now these two women have battled, and Graf now serves for her 6th Wimbledon title. If you weren't a fan of Arantxa Sanchez-Vicario before this match, try not to be now.